What is happening, squad? Welcome back. I am about to enter into my garage. We are standing in my garage, which is phenomenal news because that means that the truck isn't in here, which means that yes, the truck is running and I'm so stoked on it. I was outside driving it a little bit earlier today. It's a manual 6-speed transmission, mission accomplished. That being said, I had a lot of people commenting on the last video in such a way suggesting that, wow, we really enjoyed this. Thanks for posting it. The series was awesome, but I got news for you. The series is far from over. I'll be honest, I don't know if the series will ever be over. That's just building trucks. You're always modifying, enhancing, working on something, learning stuff, and that's the name of the game. Never stop learning, right? That being said, we've got a ton of work to do yet. Initially, I was thinking to myself, well, I really want to get this Titan swap done. I've been collecting parts, what feels like for ages. But let's be honest, I don't want to say the Titan swap is straightforward or easy, but it kind of is pretty straightforward, right? You're unbolting all the stock parts, maybe you cleaning up the frame once you're in there, and then it's a matter of installing all the Titan stuff and getting all that stuff lined up, and that's great. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to say is a little bit more unfamiliar to me, stuff I've never done on the back end. So that's actually where we're going to be starting things off today. Namely, I've got an M226 rear axle that I want to be throwing in. It's got a better gear ratio. It's from the Nismo truck. Not only are we going to be installing that, but we're also going to be ripping it apart, stripping it down, changing all the bearings, all that kind of cool stuff. You're going to be learning along with me. We're going to be cleaning up the frame. The frame has seen better days. We're going to be exploring some different paint options, all that kind of fun stuff. Also, hey, I'm just living my life. I'm documenting this truck build, and throughout this process, I've been getting used to sticking out my camera. I've decided to get used to sticking out my camera for other things. So I was also got a little sidetracked this week doing some other projects. I was building a door for a friend. I got the camera out. I started recording. We're going to look at that kind of stuff too. And a couple other things. I got some lights, which I'm pretty stoked on. Some guys sent me some lights. We're going to be experimenting on a few different things. With all that being said, without further ado, let's dive into the video. We're starting things off this week by performing one last harvest from Fiona. Later this week, she's getting sent to the scrapyard. But before that happens, there's a few other odds and sods I'd like to pull off. The whole experience kind of feels like somewhere in between a bit of a yard sale and a Black Friday blowout. I'm not exactly sure what I'm after, but I'm just pulling things off as they tickle my fancy. To be honest though, it's mostly a lot of electronics, some dash parts, which are nice to make modifications to and kind of guinea pig before you actually want to, drill holes in your real dash, and just a lot of modules and stuff like that, stuff that's a little harder to get your hands on. There's a lot of good memories associated with this truck, so this was a little bit of a kind of somber experience for me. I'm just kind of soaking it all in before I say my final goodbyes. That said, it's pretty cool because the heart and soul of this truck will live on in this new project. One of the keynote items I was after was this big M226 rear axle. If you're building, wheeling, or manual swapping a second-gen Frontier, the M226 is the rear axle everyone wants. Commonly known as the Dana 44, it's a 32-spline, semi-floating rear axle. The M226 is substantially beefier than the standard C200K axle, with a larger ring gear, larger shafts, and 4 Spider gear carrier design. Most notably, though, is the fact that it comes with a factory e-locker, which is pretty awesome. Pro 4X and Nismo trucks with a 6-speed manual were typically geared as 4.10 or a 3.69, which is significantly better for handling larger tires. And because I want to eventually put somewhere around, not sure yet, probably realistically a 35-inch tire on this truck, this is the axle to be using. I got my little apprentice helping me take this thing apart. Fiona was a 2006, which is where this axle is from. These things are prone for axle seal failure and pinion seal failure, so we're going to be changing those out, and we're going to be putting new bearings in this thing, because who knows when the last time any of that was done, if ever, on this particular axle. I'm not using an impact gun. I'm doing this particular part of the job by hand because I don't know when the last time these bolts were removed, and the last thing I want is to round some heads or break a bolt. I've never had one of these covers off, but I would say that this ring gear actually looks fairly decent.
Anyone on this side with the square. So if we put this on here. You can screw these bits in.
What's happening, everybody? We've got a couple of lights here today. We're gonna open these bad boys up. We've got the big box here. This is from a brand called Excedo. They've sent them to me. This is the off-road LED 7-inch Explorer 1 series. Pretty stoked on these. These are from a brand called Co-Light LED. They also sent these to me. We're gonna open these up. These are some ditch lights. So let's open them up and see what they look like. Look at these things. See what these bad boys look like. Oh, cool. Bonus points for Cold Light. They come with stickers. Those are always fun, multiple different colors too. Awesome. These are some rings. I guess they're aesthetic rings. You can kind of customize your lights. These look really fun. Yeah, look at those. These things look pretty phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie, I am super impressed right out of the package. These are the 3-inch Diamond series. They are side shooter ditch lights. They come in white and amber. They feature 210 degrees of wide illumination. Comes with some stickers, which is always fun. I like stickers, who doesn't like stickers? They're a die-cast aluminum and they're the gloss finish, which is cool. And you don't see a lot of gloss finish kind of lights anymore. These things pack a powerful punch. They feature 4,300 lumens, which for the size is actually pretty impressive. As far as price goes, these things will run you just over 100 bucks American, which is pretty decent. Next up on the docket is Excedo. These are the Explorer 1 series. You can get a couple of different size options here. These are the 7-inch that they sent me. And again, these things look phenomenal. They're a matte finish, which is really nice. I'm kind of torn. I don't know what finish I like better, gloss or matte. They both look really cool. They've got just a really cool design to them. I really like kind of the triangle kind of vibe they got going on here. Very impressive beam distance. It's over 1,500 feet, which is pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to plugging them in and trying them on the road one day. And they've got a width of 180 feet, which is also super impressive. They come in white and amber, 8,900 lumens per light, which is just bananas. They're a little bit more expensive. These guys will run you just under 700 bucks American. Yeah, obviously with where we are in the truck build, we have so much work to do with the meat and potatoes of the build itself. We're not at the point installing these kind of exterior accessories and creature comforts. We're just not there yet. But that being said, I was pretty excited. So I, at the very least, wanted to open them up, plug them in, tell you guys about them. Not only did they send me the lights, they sent me like discount codes, which is cool because I like saving money. If these things are legit, work well, I'm probably gonna buy more of them. And there's a link in the description with the discount code if you guys want to buy some as well, by all means. Curiosity got the best of me. I couldn't just look at these things. I had to plug them in. So I hooked them up to the shop battery and I cannot wait to see what they look like. These bad boys give me hardcore spacecraft / sci-fi vibes, and I really like them. That was really fun. I can't wait to mount these in a future episode, so keep your eyes open for that. But in the meantime, I got some other stuff pressing. With the truck finally out of the shop, it frees up the space to work on some stuff that I've been putting off for the last couple of weeks, like this door from my friend Tim. Due to this massive manual swap Frontier project, it's been a while since I've done anything besides tinkering on the engine, transmission, and all that goes along with that. Doing a big fab project was kind of a nice change of scenery that I was actually really excited about. It's been a while since I've welded anything, so it felt good to brush off the cobwebs and whip out the old fab skills, or lack thereof. And just like that, the doors were ready to be transported, which was pretty sketchy, to be honest. But we got them to the site. The question now is, are they gonna fit? So obviously building something is one thing, installing it is something completely different. Luckily, my good buddy Dave volunteered his time and was willing to help out. He's a pretty cool cat. Tim wanted a wall set up in the back of the structure, so we got that done. Now it was time to move on to the front. And so far the fitment looks pretty good. This was a pretty fun way to end off the week and break things up a little bit, but I'm stoked to get back to the truck. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.